going either alone or like with my.
So imagine that. It's kind of like scary to like.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Enkindled
Enkindled
Voices.
Voices.
My name is Maria,
And my name is Carmen.
and we are your hosts for the day. If you're new here, welcome. We are two best friends who love Jesus, Mary, Joseph, the Catholic faith. We are no experts in by any means of what we talk. This is just some girl talk, but guys are welcomed here too. It's just some ways of exploring our faith and sharing what we're passionate about.
Yeah, just chit chatting it up, talking about
Ministry,
our daily struggles.
yes, daily struggles. There's lots of that here. So welcome in. We don't judge. Not that we're hearing your guys' perspective, but you're more than welcome to send in your feedback through Instagram on our
Yeah.
comments or even through YouTube. So thank you for being here and welcome back for our regular listeners. We're very happy to have you here. Today we are entering, well, we are officially in the third week of Lent.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's going by really fast.
Yeah. How many weeks is
Is
there of
Lent?
Lent?
There
Hold on.
is Jesus. I know we do
Four.
47 days because we don't count the 4 days. The 4 Sundays, my bad.
So there's a fifth, then it's Palm Sunday,
Then Easter.
then Easter. So
We're going into the 4th week,
fifth,
then 5th. Yes, there's 5
sixth,
weeks. No, there's 5 weeks and then there's the because then it's
then it's Palm
Palm
Sunday.
Sunday and then it's Easter. Wow, we're almost there. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
we're pretty much
Done.
yeah.
No, we're praying for you guys. Hopefully, you guys have been having a good Lenten journey, and you feel like there is more closing that you are closer to Jesus during this season. And I know at our parish, we're getting ready to get close to when we do our communal community confessions. That community confessions doesn't mean that we all confess together. It just means that we usually bring a lot of priests from our deanery into our church. So instead of our usual 2 priests confessing, we have like 8, 10 of them, and the church gets packed. And little by little, one by one, it's when we get a lot of people who haven't confessed in years. Maybe they just do the one time a year, whatever it is, if they're coming back into the faith. It's where they get to take that opportunity, and it's truly, I think, a rejoicing day. It's just like it's the prodigal son, like we're all coming home to our father, and we do it as closest to Easter as possible. So it's truly a beautiful day.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that's your your daily reminder that if you haven't made it to confession yet, it could be a scary sacrament, but it shouldn't have to be. It's a considered to be one of the healing sacraments. So just use that opportunity to strengthen your faith, to let go of those things those burdens and things that you are carrying, and just surrender them to all. Jesus died already for our sins, so just continue to surrender that.
Yes.
Yes. So today we wanted to introduce a fun news. Oh, not yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to do our usual this or that game. I think we thought it'd be fun to do a little bit of Lent, a little bit of St. Joseph, because, we are just kicking off the St. Joseph novena. So just continue to pray to St. Joseph for his intercession during this month. If you are searching for a job, for a spouse, for a house, a tough, difficult situation, just ask Saint Joseph for his intercession and pray to him. And even if today's day 2, Thursday, just go ahead. No, day 3. Yes, day 3. Just continue to pray for him. You can always start that novena at any time. His feast day is March 19th, but just Saint Joseph is always welcoming your what is it, intercessions? No, intentions. There you go. Okay, so kick it off, Carmen, with the this or that.
Okay. Stations of the Cross or adoration during Lent.
Oof. Okay, if I'm being truthful, I have not attended Stations of the Cross in a hot minute. Um, but adoration just holds a special place in my heart. So I would go with adoration.
Nice.
What about you?
Um. Yeah, I think the last time I've been to Stations of the Cross was maybe one time when my mom made me go.
Mhm.
So I haven't really gone um to the ones that are done on
On
Fridays.
Fridays. Yeah.
Obviously, I've been to the one
Like
on
on Good
Good
Friday.
Friday, but yeah, it's something I like. I want to go and do again. But yes,
Yes.
adoration. Yeah, it's
Yes.
my favorite.
Yes. Daily mass or weekly adoration.
Man, I would love to do daily mass.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done it. But it would be something really cool to really
Experience.
experience and put yourself through that, and
Mm-hmm.
like going either alone or like with my husband. Like I think it'd be really special, like both of us going.
Mm-hmm.
Um but yeah.
Yeah, I would also try to do the daily mass. There was a slight moment in December where I was starting to do not daily mass because I just haven't been able to make it. I That's my goal to make
Yeah.
it to the daily mass at 6:30 because there's one near my work. Um, but the moments that I was doing, like at least 5-10 minutes of adoration in the mornings, I loved it. And at least recently, I have made it. I mean, it's been 3 months now, where we do like on the first Friday, and then for us, our church, we're very blessed actually to
Yeah.
be able to do like the 24-hour adorations
Yeah.
at our church. So on the first Friday/Saturday, we've been doing it, and then I just love that. I love that you're starting your month off in adoration, and that it just our day feels so much more productive. Or maybe it's because we wake up like at the crack of dawn. But I love adoration. My goal would be to go to daily mass. There's just something, especially when you're receiving the sacrament of communion, you're just strengthening yourself so much more spiritually, and you just feel much more fulfilled, you know?
Yeah, I was watching this one, like it's like I think it's a couple. This girl, she always comes up on my page randomly. I think she lives or she works in a city, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty big city. Not sure if it's like New York or like a pretty busy city. And she says, "Okay, time to go on my lunch break. On my break, I think she gets like a good hour and a
Mm-hmm.
half of her lunch break." And what she does, she goes and she meets up with either her boyfriend or her husband. I'm not sure. And then they go to mass. They either go to mass together during that time, or I think there's times that they've gone to confession or even adoration. I think it just depends
Mm-hmm.
which church.
What's going on?
Yeah. But they go, they walk there. She's like, "Come with me
Oh,
on
that's
my break,"
awesome.
and then they go, and then she's like, "Okay, now ready to finish my work day," because then she goes after to
After
work.
to
I'm
work.
like,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
That'd be really
Yes.
cool. Like you could cross the street and go to mass,
To mass.
or go,
That's
you know.
awesome. That's such a privilege too,
Yeah,
like to have
yeah,
something nearby. I know I have that privilege too, like near work, to have that like 5 minutes away, and I unfortunately don't take advantage of it enough. But yes, that's awesome. It truly does make a
yeah.
difference, and I hope that you're at some point able to experience that, even if
Yes.
it's like in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Technically, our church does morning and afternoon,
Yeah.
but the thing about it, this is where like we are human. We're not perfect. Our 5:30 mass, it's supposed to be a 30-minute mass, but sometimes it's an hour. So then I'm like, oh man. And I know what's 1 hour to sacrifice it. But again, I'm human, and sometimes I just don't go out of laziness or because it's going to take forever.
Yeah.
Shame on me. I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Lent. um, yes. Oh, your turn.
Spiritual reading or praying the rosary.
Oh, jeez. I would say right now I have been very into praying the rosary, and slowly, I mean, we've shared several times that we'd like to do the daily rosary podcast. But then sometimes I would just do like through Hollow just to pray the rosary with the the daily like meditations. So I've just actually been trying to lean into praying it and not just like saying it like just to say it, or like you kind of like lose track, your mind gets busy and stuff. So maybe I do want to like just start carrying around my rosary in the car with me as I'm like obviously be safe while driving, but even if it's the little ring ones.
Yeah.
And then because I feel like counting the beads makes it more intentional.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, me too. I think praying the rosary, I feel like spiritual reading. I used to be a reader when I was younger. I loved books. I don't know what happened. Maybe school
Maybe
got to.
college made it boring.
I think that's what it was. And then maybe it was the, in a way, lack of time, because I
That's
know
it.
reading, well, reading is fun, but
Okay,
like,
it's just you have to, I guess that's where we have to decide like what we're giving up in replacement of
mhm,
it. Like it would
mhm.
be like I doom scroll. I am ashamed of it. Whatever. We're owning up to things today. But it's true, like it can take 30 minutes of your
Yeah.
time, so I guess it all comes with that discipline. We gotta pray to a saint for discipline.
Yeah, discipline and making our schedule time. Like, I know God, runs our lives and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, but if we're not, yeah, disciplined, everything,
Just out of
it
it
goes
goes
out of
out of
whack.
order.
Yeah.
It's true. I loved reading too. Granted, I wouldn't really read the religious books, but I would
Yeah.
read the
Yeah.
fictional
Yeah.
things.
Same.
But it would just be just as bad as TV because like there was one time that I read a book and it was a big size and I read it like in a whole day. Like I stayed up watching it, but it's because I have like such a vivid, and I don't know if this happens to everyone.
Yes.
Like it's just like playing a movie in
Me
my,
too.
like I feel like I'm playing the movie in my forehead. I
My
don't know.
mom would
It's
get me in trouble. I think I was elementary school. I
yeah.
would be reading. I'd be going to the bathroom
Uh,
and have the light dimmed because I think in
I'm
that one
done.
there was like a nightlight or something, and I'd be there reading the book, not even in the on the
No, no,
bathroom,
the bathroom.
just
Just there
reading.
in the tub.
And she's like, "Carmelita, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh,
Oh, estoy tap-
nothing, just reading."
just reading. I'm done.
She looks at them. You're gonna get blind because you're reading in the
'Cause in the
dark.
dark, that is what they would say. Yes.
But yeah, I really want to get back to reading.
Mhm.
I do have a couple books about saints.
That's why we have to start our book club. Carmen's cousin started a book club, and I
That's
love it. They
cool.
call
Yeah,
it's their cousin's book club,
yeah,
but I love that they have it. And I know within our friends, we said we would start a book club because we all did bingo cards this year. We said we would at least read. We each wrote down different book numbers, but at least one book this year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
It's
it's
the least we could
hard.
do. It's
Yeah,
hard, but it does come down to the discipline. There was a time
yeah,
where I would like legit and write down like my whole schedule. Like it's because sometimes I guess it's the way that my brain works. Like I have to actually like say do this by like 5 minutes. But again, I'm not like super strict on it, but at least I have to write it down because if
yeah,
not, then I could have it in my head like today I have to do this, this, and this, and this, like after work and in between work, in my break, I could send these messages out. But if I don't write them down, then it comes a time and I'm like, oh, I don't have nothing. Or I convince myself to
yeah.
go back to sleep because then I'm like, oh, I didn't have anything down. Like I could move things around. And again, God works out, makes things work out
Mhm,
ultimately.
mhm.
But también God doesn't want me to be like leaving things like
Yeah.
last minute or to be stressing about it because again, shame on me for like just not planning accordingly.
And I think sometimes our heads are so
They're so busy.
overwhelmed or busy and all of that that we're like here, there, everywhere, and like, oh, we see a sock. Oh, let me go take it. Oh, now this is happening. Now the dishes are dirty. Oh, now, oops,
Yes.
I forgot to take this out from
Mhm.
my car. Oh, I forgot to put this in. And then,
Yeah, you
yeah,
just go all over the place. I
yeah,
know. I feel like my brain just has something, but it's that I just have to write it down.
yeah.
Okay, so this or that now, St. Joseph edition. Silent strength or bold leadership?
I guess silent strength. Yeah, I
Mhm.
think in some parts it's like that, or some moments it's like that strength that it's like kind of it's silent.
Silence speaks a lot.
Um, I do feel in some other points it's like when there's something, you have to, something happens and it's like I couldn't do something about it. I think that's when my leadership kicks in. It's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
no, like we have to get this done, or we need to do this, or etc. Or let's say someone gets hurt, I'm like, okay, dun 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 dun, dun. Let's get it, make
Mm-hmm.
sure this person isn't suffering, or whatever it could be. I don't know. My instincts
Instincts kicked
can,
in,
yeah,
yeah. All your fortitudes and
yeah,
everything. That's so true.
yeah. So how about you?
Yes. Oh man, Saint Joseph. I think from Saint Joseph, I could take his silent strength because I sometimes don't know when to shut up, and I want to say no. Well, not that Saint Joseph said no, but
Yeah,
I think I need to lean into the silence. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. But his bold leadership also really helps and it kicks in. And that's the one thing that I always say about Carmen and Ice's friendship. Is just like I think I've been blessed in that aspect that it's just like like I think that we what is it? We complement each other so
Mm-hmm,
well.
mm-hmm.
Like in times like at least in when since we do ministry together, it's like
Yeah.
when I'm like feeling overwhelmed or something, like I could plan things out and then Carmen will be the one to like actually execute it or she's already working on things. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus, for giving for blessing me with Carmen.
Oh, yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that's how our strengths work
Yeah.
together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our gifts. There you
Yes.
go.
Our gifts.
The gifts
And
from the Holy
talents.
Spirit.
Yep.
Yeah. Saint Joseph Novena or Saint Joseph Litany.
Mm. Okay. If we're continuing with that honesty, I am not too familiar with the St. Joseph Litany.
Yeah,
So
neither am
I am a firm believer in the St. Joseph Novena. So I am doing the St. Joseph Novena for a special
I.
intention. We'll
Aw.
let you guys know at the end of the month if it worked out.
Yay.
Yep.
Aw.
What
Yeah.
about you, Carmen?
I think Saint Joseph Novena. I'm
Yeah.
not familiar with the other.
With the other one?
Yeah,
No. Have you
no.
done the St. Joseph Novena ever?
No, I
Carmen,
should. I
do
need to.
it.
I'm about to.
Yes.
Yeah. I think sometimes I'm like, okay, yes, let me start it. And then the next day I fall asleep or
Oh.
like, like I forget, which I need to start putting it in my
In
notes
your notes.
or like in my schedule. I
But
have a calendar thing with
uh
my
huh.
husband. I'm about to put it St. Joseph Novena at this time
Day
or
one.
something.
Started
Just
today,
so he could
technically.
remind me
Yeah.
or yeah.
Well, technically, look, there's been times where I've been really good with
Yeah.
novenas and I am on top of it. And there's times like this one, like we didn't start it on the day of the novena, like I started
Mhm.
it maybe last week. And then, like within the day, I had already the results, and I'm just like in
Mhm.
gratitude and hoping that it goes through or whatever.
Mhm.
But I failed. Like there's like the next day I was like, oh, I fell asleep. And then the next day I fell asleep. But then I continued and I was like, Saint Joseph, you know my heart, my intention. And I think until you build that where you can be consistent every day,
Mhm.
I think it's okay to give yourself that grace that if you
Yeah.
fail on the next day, just you could
Keep going.
restart, but just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yep. And then slowly you just start to continue with that habit. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. So this or that Catholic slash relatable. Let's see. Sitting in the front of mass or hiding in the back row.
I guess it depends. I mean, there's been times. Okay, so when me and my husband, when we serve during mass or are helping with things at mass, I like to sit in the back because that way I could kind of run to the back and
Yeah.
get things ready or get things done. But there's been, I think when we don't really need to serve during the masses, we sit not all the way in the front, in the middle. When I had my confirmation kids, I would have them sit in the
In
front all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I would sit near them, in the front, just so they could pay attention. Because even though I'm in the back or in the middle or wherever, I try my best to pay
Yes.
attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say middle row for me too. But in the back row, I just get way too easily distracted. But
Mm.
again, when we are serving, then we are like sitting more towards the back just so that we can be on top of the
Mhm.
teens and stuff. So yes.
Okay.
Um,
Latin chant or contemporary worship.
mm, I would say contemporary worship.
Me too.
Yep.
Me too.
Enough said about that. Yeah. Big parish events or small faith groups.
Mm, I love a big parish event. I
Mhm.
think you get to see so many people, or like you're like, hey, I haven't seen you so long.
Forever. That's true.
So I like that. Small faith groups, they're pretty cool too.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're pretty blessed on having pretty bigger
Yeah.
like faith groups, which is really amazing. But yeah, I think either.
Yeah. Either or is good. And
Mhm.
I think that's where, again, we're just so blessed that our parish is so alive and there's so much that's going on. So, yes, I want to say we have like a big parish event like at least every quarter of the
Yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah.
But the small intimate groups are small too.
Yeah.
Are cool. Mm-hmm.
Coffee after mass or brunch after mass?
Mm. Okay, so if it was my regular scheduled mass, I would for sure say brunch. But since a lot of the times right now our current mass schedule is set for five, like in the afternoons, like 5:30 on Sundays,
Mm-hmm.
then I would say a good dinner.
Yes. Yeah.
and so
Ideally, it would
yeah,
be a good, nice
then
little
a
brunch
brunch.
after mass. But yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Saint books or Catholic podcast?
I guess Catholic podcast, but I would really, really, really want to start reading my
With the
books.
Saint books.
The
Okay,
same
should is
books.
this our sign to start
Yeah, we should.
our Catholic book club? Who
Yeah.
would join us?
Well, I think
Comment.
they do it online too, and then
Yes,
people
people
can,
can join.
yeah,
Well, now there's that
like a chat.
subscription of like the monthly like book that you could receive and stuff like that. But if not, we can always start the
Yeah.
our Catholic book club. And then we could start with like a St. Therese or a
Yeah.
book. Yeah. If you're interested in joining our book club, comment a little
Let us
book
know.
emoji.
Yes.
Yes. Cool. Well, that wraps up our this or that Catholic Life edition for today. Um, comment below if there's a segment that resonated with you guys the most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, this is to start a more. Oh, I guess I would resonate more with the Catholic podcast. I do enjoy listening to podcasts
Yeah.
more, especially at work. I mean, I do tend to join a lot of phone calls, but sometimes if I'm tired of music, then I'll listen to a podcast. I just like noise.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe that's why I'll pray to Saint Joseph for silence.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yes. Yes. Well, we did mention that we're introducing a new segment for today, at least during today's episode, but maybe we could start incorporating it every week. So, the segment that we are kicking off is what's going on in the Catholic world news. So, this week on Sunday, we celebrated the International Women's Day.
Yes.
And something that I've seen it happen other years, but I don't really pay too much attention. But maybe because now my Instagram feed is a little bit more faith related and things like that. In Mexico, this tends to be a big thing. It could be in other countries too, but at least what I've seen, it happens mainly in Mexico. Is They usually do marches, obviously, women power, all of that. We're all for empowering each other. But in Mexico, things did take a bad turn, and unfortunately, they tend to do protest, and they target the Catholic Church, which is pretty sad because it's unfortunately, Mexico suffers a lot from in Spanish it's called feminicidio. It's just there's just a lot of they unalive a lot of women over there due to domestic violence, different things. It's just the unfortunate violence that happens over there. But aside from that, Mexico is predominantly Catholic, and there's a lot of anger, I suppose, towards the Catholic Church. I could see we have hurt people our our Catholic backgrounds, obviously, at least here in the U.S., or even I guess everywhere when we were trying to conquer and everything was happening, things were done horribly wrong. We can acknowledge that as our faith, but we have made things way better. We've apologized. We're not what our ancestors were back then, and ultimately the buildings are just that, the buildings, and we as people are the church. So I think that to go and attack our faith, or in this case what we find as a sacred space, it's just so unfair just because we have different political views. So in the reels that I don't know if we'll if we will screen share or not, but I'm sure if you search up Mexico International Women's Day protest, then you'll see and you'll find that a lot of churches were heavily vandalized. They've done it in other years where they just tag the whole churches, they break things, they burn things, and it's not just churches. They do it to monumental statues and everything. And to me, that's just sad because it's that's not what true feminism is.
No.
And it's sad that society is what makes us just believe that just feminism is tied to being pro-choice. When in reality, true feminism is being pro-life.
Yeah.
And I don't think, like, again, I'm not an expert on this topic. I think that there's more to be said
Hmm.
about it to even define what being
Definitely.
pro-life is. I think that it's not perfect. Like, even now, like, being pro-life, like, would require a lot more teaching of the women anatomy,
Yep.
how to properly care for your
Yes.
cycles and all of those things, and how to truly, like, empower yourself as a woman and not just make it based
Yeah.
on one thing,
Or
you know?
feeling attacked, because I think what's happening in Mexico, like how you were saying, and there is, sadly, there is a lot of like bad things that do happen to
Hmm.
women, but it sucks and it's not fair. I guess it's, yeah, it's not
I just
attacking the church.
because the church stands with you. I
Yeah.
think that if there is one goal, is like for the world to realize that, like, we empower women. Like, come on now, we have Mary, we love Mary. How many saints are like have proof of that? Like, there's Mary Magdalene, there's Saint Joan of Arc. She was a badass uh girl that got killed for her faith. She was burnt alive, and she's just like one of the,
Yeah.
like, the many examples of it. So I think to say, like, true feminism really is just empowering your virtues and seeing how loved you are by God and stuff. So yes, I do pray for all of, like, the women that have been hurt by our faith.
Hmm.
um yeah, it's a shame that's had to happen. And I think that that's why we also pray for the restoration of the Catholic Church and the restoration of all those victims that have been
Yeah.
hurt. But the priest, they're not God.
Yeah.
And I
No.
think that if people could realize that, like, that they are two different people, like, yes, there is like, during the sacrament of confession, like,
Yeah.
there is incorpor of Christi.
Yeah.
I can't say the word, but ultimately, like, God wants them to, like, love themselves. He wants us to feel empowered and everything, but not at the disposition of putting someone down.
Yeah, and obviously, like, and on some of the videos that Mary was showing me, there was fires and all these things. It's like, why, like, would you do that to your neighbor's house? Like,
Yeah,
would you, like,
because they
I
have
just
different
don't get it.
beliefs. Yeah.
Like, no, we should be respecting and, yeah, the first thing, respecting each other and respecting each other's faith. Like, maybe, okay, maybe something happened in some of their lives, but that doesn't mean let me go set this thing on
It's like
fire.
that church didn't do it to you.
Yeah,
That
no.
poor building, like like the people. I guess for me, it's always been that, like, it's like I don't understand why they find it so easy to just, like, attack Catholics. And I guess that's where the enemy also plays into hand. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
he wants to destroy our faith and stuff, but he won't, because God already won that battle.
Yeah.
So, but it's like they wouldn't do it to any other religion.
Yeah. No.
It's like, but, like, when it comes to Catholicism, like, it's so easy to just, like, bash and,
Bash
like,
at him.
and yeah, and bash on
And
it.
I do think some of those people, they, like, the knowledge isn't there. They haven't maybe experienced it, or maybe they had when they were like super super young, but maybe at that point they didn't know. Like, we don't know
Well,
everything
like,
when
in
we're so
in
young,
in
you
in
know.
these videos, like, you see, like, moms, like, and with their little daughters, and they think that they're empowering their daughters. But
No.
even then, like, you just see, like, the daughters, like, the young little ones, like, already being so hateful, spitting at people and stuff like that. And it's like, no, if you truly loved your daughter, you would tell her how worthy of it
She
she
is,
is.
yeah.
That, like, no, like, we could, we are meant to live a vocation, but whether that vocation leads to marriage or not, like, she is dignified as a person
Yep.
on her own. Empowering her would get to know her, like would be teaching her theology of the body, what it means to love yourself, to not give yourself up for anything, so that
Yeah.
then you're not relying on something, or you're not acting out of fear or out of regret.
Yeah.
But yes, but aside from all of that, like, negativity, there's the beautiful side of it all. Like, there was a group of women who, in celebration of it, they decided to protect their church, you
Yeah.
know, and that's so scary to do. So like all power to those women that stood there. They grabbed a mantle and they protected the whole building around
Like,
it,
yeah, they wrapped
and
it
they
around.
wrapped it around. They made signs that empowered them, that said, we are with you, we are sorry that you had to go through something so horrible,
Yeah.
like we're praying for you. They got spit on, they like got sprayed on, like everything, but they stood there. And then there's also the churches where like they didn't have anything going on, but you do just see that vandalism. And then I think what really captured with me or stayed with me at the end was like that you see like the priest after the parade, like after the, wouldn't call it a parade, after the protest went by, the priest celebrated mass outside.
Oh.
And I don't know, I think that it's just that like that symbolism to say that like yes, this happened, but like ultimately God is here present in the Eucharist, and like he's here for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really sad because it's like maybe here we don't see it as often, but things like that do tend to happen. I know where some of my family lives near SoCal. One
Mm-hmm.
day they were in mass, or maybe it was during Lent too. They were like one of the things, and then my cousin texted me. She's like, "Yo, guess what happened?" I'm like, "What?" And she sends me a picture, and someone had like broken Mary like outside
I
of
think
the
I saw
parish.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was crazy. I'm like, no way. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
she's like, and I think it happened while we were in mass, while we were inside the. I don't know if something was happening, or it was mass, or it was maybe the Via Crucis, or the washing of something inside of
Mm-hmm.
the church. And I'm like, no way. And it's just so it's sad, and it's crazy. Why? For what?
Mm-hmm.
And it's at that point, it's like, no, that's Mama Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Yeah, but aside from that, like the church does like honor women, and they can acknowledge that our church wouldn't be the same
Mm-mm.
without the women in our lives and stuff. So here
No.
are some women that you can use to as examples to lead by. So there is obviously Mary, who better than Mary than the mother
Mother
of
of
God,
God.
like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to use as an example, to ask for her to lead you, to walk with you, to show you what that true feminism
Yeah.
is, to be bold in your faith, to say yes.
To say yes. Yeah. Her
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yes.
Saint Teresa of Avila. She was a doctor of the church and one of the greatest mystics in Christian history. She reformed the Carmelite order, founding many convents across Spain. And yeah, a
Wow.
bunch of theology.
She's a doctor because she just had that much knowledge.
Yeah.
Doctor of the church there.
Also, like Saint Catherine of Siena, one of our four female doctors of the church. She was a mystical writer and persuaded the Pope to return from Avignon to Rome during a major church crisis. Yeah.
Wow. Then there's Saint Therese of Lisieux, which is known as the Little Flower.
Mm-hmm.
Her spirituality of the Little Way transformed modern Catholic spirituality. And I think that Saint Therese of Lisieux is someone that I really want to lean on to this year. It's just like the little way, you know, little by little.
Yeah.
Um, but yes.
And she died at 24.
Yep, and
I,
she's also a
yeah.
doctor of the church.
Yeah.
Despite dying, wow, 24.
Yeah, I didn't know
Wow.
that.
And then there's Saint Teresa of
Of
Calcutta.
course.
I love Saint Teresa of Calcutta. I think that's one of my dad's favorites too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
wow. She is like one of the founders of the Missionaries of Charity, and she dedicated her life to serving the poorest of the poor in India and around the world. Saint Teresa of
Yeah.
Calcutta. There's one of the quotes that I love. Like, it's like the one with the little droplets of water. I won't
Mm.
quote it because I don't know it, but but she received the Nobel Prize in 1979 and became a global symbol of Christian charity and sacrificial love.
Yeah.
Wow. And we did get this information from the Catholic Truthfully AI. You can follow them on Instagram. They post great content
Yes.
on there. So if you want to read the full descriptions, you can find them on Instagram on truthly.ai.
Yeah.
Yes. So lean into, continue to celebrate that. You know, obviously that's just like the one day that's like uh in festivity of
Yeah.
celebrating women, but you should honor women every day.
Yes. Every single day.
Especially your mom. They give birth to you, say
Yeah.
something, and if you don't have that relationship with your mom, then lead into Mary. She is our adopted mother.
Yes.
Yes. What about you, Carmen? Do you have any Catholic world news for us?
Oh yeah. I on that same Instagram
Mm-hmm.
page, Truthly AI, and even in other sources, I have been seeing that Bible sales overall they've been going up, and here they talk about how in Britain it's doubled um recently, and they've Bible sales in Britain have more than doubled over the past 7 years, according to a report cited by the GB News. Data from the Christian publisher shows that Bible sales reached 6.3 million last year, more than doubling since 2019.
Dang, that's crazy.
So that's in Britain, but I do know in other places here. I've
Well,
been seeing news about him.
I mean, even like the Bible in a year, like the podcast, like
Yeah.
it made like number one, like again,
Yeah.
in like the apps here in the U.S. So that's crazy.
So it's beautiful to see that more people are leaning into their faith and going back and just like trying to read the word of God. I'm like, it's
Yeah, I love
beautiful.
that. And know that it's like it's not something that's easy. So if you're coming back into your
Yeah.
faith, like just know like truly we are praying for you in this journey because it's not something that could be easy, especially if you are the first in your family coming back into it or if you're the
Yeah.
only one in your relationship. Like if you have to start by going to mass alone, like it's okay. Like you'll be the one to
Plant
then
that seed.
plant the seed and your family will follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then here I was just reading also it says also in the Catholic Church in Britain has also reported a rise of in the number of people preparing to become a Catholic,
Oh,
which I think it's across the world too. But
yeah.
here it says the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Westminster said nearly 800 adults from more than 100 parishes presented themselves for election or recognition ahead of Easter this year, making marking the fourth largest group since diocesan records began in 1993. According to the Archdiocese, this represents an increase of about 60% compared with the last year. So over there, they've been having more because
Mhm.
I think at one point,
They
I
started declining.
yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
And I do know here too, like we've been seeing lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of new.
Yeah. We see it in our church, but also
Yeah.
like I there was a Fox News posted and they did a segment on this that there is the Gen Z revival is what they're calling it. The New York City church has been seeing I think it's called St. Joseph's in New York. They've for what was it, Ash Wednesday, they had people outside on the steps like packed, and even on their Sunday masses like it's just
Yeah.
like lines to even enter the church. So I think that that's beautiful, and hopefully everyone sticks around and it's not just like a phase, you know,
Yeah.
because that's always like the scary part. That so if you are newly converting into your faith, I think that it's good to lean in. Like if you found someone that you're following and that you love the perspective. But again, always also do your research. Like if there's something that you have questions, there's so much information on the internet and there's so much also misinformation. So
Yeah.
just always make sure that you do your research. And if there's something that you're struggling to understand about your faith, you know, lean into the catechism of the Catholic Church. That's ultimately our like
Yeah.
guidebook. It explains everything, and if you still have questions, and that's where the
Go talk
priest
to someone.
is
Yeah.
there to talk to you or anything.
Mhm.
But I truly pray for all those who are converting and who are
Yes.
coming back. Like welcome back. Imagine how happy Jesus feels. It's like when all the like he leaves the 99, you know. But
Yeah.
yes, we'll be praying for you guys, and hopefully if you are coming back, pray for that little seal, that courage, so that that conversion also leads into uh serving in a ministry, you know.
Yeah.
What better way to live out your faith than by serving the Lord?
Yeah.
The church needs you, we all need you, so be a part of your community.
Yes.
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 Yes. So I think with that we wrap up today's episode. But first we'll and with our saint of the day, which is
Mhm.
another very strong woman. In this case, she was a teen. She died at the age of 15, Carmen. So tell us
Yeah.
who it is.
So her name is Saint Seraphina. She is known for her extreme piety, charity, and patience endurance of suffering. She was a young girl from Tuscany. She became paralyzed and lived on a wooden board for years. Often cited as a patron saint of disabled people, spinners, and her hometown of San Gimignano.
Jimignano?
Gimignano.
Jimignano?
So, yeah, so she, despite a painful, paralyzing illness, she remained devoted to God, often praying and keeping her eyes on the crucifix. So she's a patron saint for the disabled, handicapped, and those with spinal injuries. And those are the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And Miracles Legend states that white violets grew from her wooden board upon her death, and she is associated with many healings. Wow.
Dang.
And she was
Wow.
only 15.
That's crazy. Saint Seraphina, pray for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I did see that I forgot the saints already. My memory has not been the greatest, but there was another saint who died with a very similar like illness close to hers.
Mm-hmm.
So it says legend says that she leaned on that saint to like help her get by, you know.
Yeah.
So it says that the saint like through like a vision paid her a visit and like he told her when her death date was going to be.
Wow.
So imagine that. It's kind of like scary to like know
Yeah.
your death date, but at the same time, it's like you know when you're gonna die, you could prepare for it.
Yeah.
You could talk with a priest. You can like
Yeah.
repent and
Totally.
everything.
Wow.
Yes.
Dang.
So Saint Fina, pray for us. So
Yes.
if you enjoyed today's episode, thank you guys so much for watching. Truly, it makes a difference. We appreciate and love your guys' support. So if you enjoyed it,
Mhm.
please comment, help us share and spread the word. And this just be your reminder. Like if you feel like the Lord is calling you to do something in your life,
Do it.
pursue it. He will pave the way and will give you access to things.
Yes.
Yes, so we'll be praying for you guys, and we hope that you guys also pray for us and pray for everyone who's converting and joining the Catholic Church. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.